Hey, how you guys doing? I hope you're having an amazing day. And it's Brooklyn here. I've been looking through the comments a lot, and I've seen a lot of people questioning about the Florida arrest that I was pertaining to in Ian's show. And when I got locked up with the loaded gun under my seat and a pound of weed in the car. And what actually happened with that case was when I got bailed out in Florida, they have a law where if you commit a crime in the car and you own the car, they repossess your car. And when I got locked up, the weed was next to me, and the gun was loaded under my seat. It was like a 38 special. So when I got locked up, I got bailed out, and they gave me a repossession letter of my car, and I had to buy my car back from them. So at this time, I was driving like a Mitsubishi, and I went to go buy my car back. The only reason I even bought my car back from them was they basically told me like we can't give you back the gun. It's an illegal gun, so you're gonna have to like sign the gun over to the police department. So when I signed for my car and they gave me my car back, I signed a piece of paper that gave them that basically like gave them permission of the gun that they could do whatever they want with it, destroy it or whatever. So after that, I went on a run. So when I went to prison, I had a warrant from Florida, but for some reason, when I got released, they never picked me up. And then when I did my violation again, I got released and they never picked it up. But once I was done with all my state time, one day I was chilling in my car in the passenger side. We was parked up, and I got pulled over I got stopped by the cops. We was already pulled over because we was smoking, and they searched the car, ran my name, and told me I had a warrant from Florida. So you go to the bookings, they don't give you any bail, and then you go to Rikers Island. And basically, what they do is they give Florida, I think, like 60 days or 90 days or something to come pick you up. If they don't come pick you up, they dismiss the warrant and they let you go. But unfortunately for me, Florida came on the last day and picked me up. And you would think driving from New York to Florida would be like, one day, maybe 2 days. It took me 3 weeks to get there the first time. Yes, I did this twice. So it took 3 weeks. You go through Pennsylvania. From Pennsylvania, you spend the night there. Well, that's what we did one time. Then you go to like Georgia. You spend the night in Georgia. And then from there, you don't go south. They take you all the way west. So we went to Kentucky. And then we stopped in some little ass town in Arkansas. And that's where I spent most of my time on this trip. I spent like 2 weeks there. And they basically had us like in one cell. It was like a holding area. Like it wasn't really a jail. It was like a holding area in a precinct. So they had us there for 2 weeks with mattresses. Everybody sleeping in one room. No nurses, no anything. Like at this time, remember on Ian's show, I said I was getting Kalana pins. So every time I go to prison, there's a record of me getting Kalana pins. And they're supposed to give it to you 3 times a day. When I went there, I couldn't even see a nurse. I couldn't do anything. Like they don't even give you drugs that you need. Like I could have died if I was really taking those Kalana pins. If they just stop you like that, you could catch a seizure. There's a whole bunch of stuff that could happen to you, but they didn't give me anything. I couldn't see a nurse. None of us did. No phones because you can't tell people that you're in transit. And we stood there for 2 weeks. And in Florida, I had two warrants, one from Seminole County and one from Orlando, Orange County. So my first stop was Seminole County. And I can't deal with my other case. In Seminole County, I was wanted for like, I think I used a credit card or something like that in the store in Walmart. And they got like my plates. I put gas in my car. So it was like some bullshit warrant. But I had to stay there until I could pay bail. So I had to pay $500 for bail. And then they take you to Orange County, which is like half an hour away. And then over there it was terrible. Like Orlando jails and those jails are so different from New York jails. Like I can't do any time in Orlando or Florida. Like it's so bad in there. Like the county jail is so terrible. People are doing so bad. just the food is terrible. You can't even eat the food in there compared to like New York. It's so bad. But I went to Orlando, and because I bailed out of Seminole, then I went to Orlando. And in Orlando, I didn't have any bail because that's where I originally ran from. I never got arrested for the Seminole case. I was just wanted for 5 years. So I had a the only way I could get out of Orlando case was if I take probation. Like that's the only way that was trying to release me. If not, I was gonna get a court date like 3, 4 months away, and I couldn't stay there. It was so bad. So I bailed out of. Well, I took probation, and when I took probation, I ended up running back to New York again. And then a couple of months later, I got locked up, and I went through basically the same process. I got extradited again from New York all the way to Florida, and I did the same thing in Seminole County, but this time I had no bail, so I had to spend 4 months there. Excuse me. Well, it was like 2 months because I already had time in there, and then I had to go to Orange County and fight the violation of probation case, and from there I did the rest of my time, and they released me, and I never stepped foot in Florida ever again. It was just so bad. But for some reason, I had like 3 charges. Here, I could show you guys the charges actually. That's what I was gonna do. Hold up, let me. What's going on here? Scuff screen. Here, so this is basically I got locked up. Well, hold up, let me move my camera so you guys can see it. Well, this is my probation, but my original case in 2012 was possession over 20 grams. I had a pound of weed. Possession with intent and deliver. Possession of cannabis over 20 grams. This was a felony. Possession of a concealed weapon, misdemeanor, and possession of a cannabis with intent to sell, deliver with a weapon. That was like a misdemeanor too. So when I ended up going there, the only case I was fighting was the possession of marijuana. This was the most serious charge because this is from 2012 when in those states weed is the worst. Guns are fine, but drugs they try to slay you. So that's basically what happened. And I took like 2 years probation, but then I instantly violated and did like 4, 6 months or whatever. It wasn't that long, but I came out the same year. But that's just that's my story about that. So you guys can see more because Ian never asked me about it, so I never brought it up again. We went all over the place for that interview. And also, guys, if you guys could subscribe, like, share, the same thing everybody else says, I would appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoy your night. See you tomorrow or the next day.